Hello, good day to you. That means I wish you well. I wish you prosperity. I wish you happiness. I hope you're not bored with my video. I hope this video adds to your life. This video can possibly add to your life by way of informing you about huge energy that you may already possess, that you may hadn't like realized you possess. Now, this energy comes from the fact of there being people that hate you and wish you unhappiness, the kind of unhappiness that you get if when you become no longer having a roof overhead. It's all about the roof overhead. And while it is you have roof over your head, then you are acting defiance of the people that really do not wish you well, the people that wish you harm. So, roof overhead is different to being a rough sleeper. If you're a rough sleeper, you're subject to the ravages of the environment. Strangely enough, the environment is the same thing that we ourselves create. Now, you got the equatorial countries. They are always having hot sunshine, hot, lovely, beautiful weather, right? In the equatorial countries, but us in the West, like Europe, like some places in North America, not equatorial, then sadly we are having like a icy weather a heck of a lot of times. And the energy companies, they make all the money from us. And the thing is, it's weird, but like, like they make money from us only because we allow them to make money from us. And how do we stop them making money from us? Well, we become a bit more independent. We stop seeing ourselves as different from the universe and different from the planet. But that is a lot of spiritual work. I mean, like, how the heck are you going to do that? Where are you going to start with that spiritual work? The first thing is to recognize that the cold is not particularly like out of your own creation. First of all, you can actually affect the weather. It's a bit of alchemy. It's a bit like a like a shaman. You can affect the weather. You can actually control the weather. I learned that some years ago. But while you can control the weather, it's a two part. It's a like a interdependent thing. It's like proactive thing. You can control the weather. You yourself, you can contribute to the control of the weather, but also you have to do your part in making sure that your state of being is not itself like disadvantaging yourself with regard to the way the weather affects you. But that's the spiritual part. Anyway, here's a script I wrote for this particular vlog. I'm destitute, but there's a roof over my head. While those that don't want me to prosper are retards who don't know what they do. Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. Jesus said that. Holy Bible. They are stuck in an unchangeable pattern. This is compared with being homeless on the street as a rough sleeper, having a roof over my head, sitting outside a shop, come rain or sunshine, waiting for coins and notes to drop. Then at night, going to a car park, staircase level, to sleep. Summer is better, winter, the rain turns ice. Morning repeats the routine. Occasionally, I treat myself to a cheap hotel with satellite TV, ensuite shower with mini shampoo bottles and double bed. Carnivorous breakfast in the morning, then back to my seat on the pavement. Today, thank God, I have the luxury of accommodation, roof overhead, central heating, should I desire. While this I shun, for it is a trap by supplies when we are more than artificial heat. Unlike many others sitting on the pavement as I narrate, outside many don't survive. And indeed, that could occur to any of us. So I have a roof over my head. And this is unlike many others who are now sat on the pavement making a few quid as people pass them by and drop coins into their lap. Make a few quid here, make a few quid there. That's fantastic. But here I am with accommodation, roof overhead. The difference is I'm not subject to the ravages of this like present non-equatorial climate, and itself subject to like how I manage my own like immediate self and how I will how I like use my energy, my savvy, my savoir-faire, my knowledge, my my wherewithal to affect, as it were, the temperature outside. And then, like, that's the test. We have a journey in life, right? And the test is how we deal with that journey. And we have a turn in life, and the journey in life is ostensibly how we deal with the journey, and if we prove to be the kind to make it to the ultimate sanctuary. And that's our test in life. The fact that life has this tests and its trials, and how we manage to successfully not get caught up with the trials that life puts on us, how we successfully like negotiate the trials, how we waylay any obstacles that come our way, how we deal with them absolutely effectively, what challenges come towards us, and how particularly assertive we are not to let any obstacles come to us that destroys us from our ultimate goal of getting to the ultimate sanctuary. The ultimate sanctuary is achieved in a dream state, accessed through a good night's sleep. This is all to do with lucid dreaming. Lucid dreaming is strange, but then lucid dreaming really has its place. Not a lot of people know this or can appreciate the importance of lucid dreaming. Lucid dreaming is practically everything. But how do you ever get into that lucid dreaming state? You see, and it appears as if it's some kind of like trivial experience. Like dreaming is a trivial experience, when lucid dreaming may be exactly what it's all about. Thoroughly unresearched and thoroughly undocumented. Anyway, here I am, unemployed, but living in the what I call defiance now. You see, it's the in quotes defiance now, end quote. You see, defiance now. You see, unemployed but living in the defiance now of roof overhead, between the pavement, which is being a rough sleeper, and bullies wanting me out of the way. And here I am to continue my defiance in a job soon, or any of my entrepreneurial activities. So here it is. People want me out of the way. And the very recognizable energy of them wanting me out of the way, the very fact of my remaining, having a roof overhead with my entrepreneurial activities, here I am defying themselves. They pour a heck of a lot of energy my way, desiring me to be destroyed. But here I'm stood. I wonder how frustrating that must feel for them. The streets, rough sleeping, beckons, but I remain here with roof over my head. That's the one. They definitely want me to experience cold, right? Freezing cold, right? But instead, rather than being not here as we speak, that instance of being not where they desire me to be is where they do not want me to be. They do not want me to be here vlogging about being not on the street. They want me to be rather on the street. So then that makes them miserable that I'm not on the street. Happy, of course, that I no longer work with them, but miserable to an extent because I'm not yet on the street in the ultimate achievement from themselves, which ultimately should make me like feel happy and energetic. That is that source of energy that I may have mentioned earlier on. So you get some energy from the mere fact that they are unsuccessful in the ultimate desire of having me being a rough sleeper and certainly not having accommodation. The defiance now has the energetic strength of the act of being comfortable, contrary to the pavement sitting preference of your enemies. A period of the pure light of life, in defiance of the desire of your enemies. Your test is to maintain that successfully until success on sanctuary. So that's your test. What you have to do is maintain the act of like successfully being not shunted on the street. And that's the only test. Can you successfully manage to not be shunted onto the street? That's your test. And because, you see, as you successfully manage not to be shunted onto the street, there's a bonus of, you know, as they say, one in the eye. They say one in the eye. You see, that means, for some reason, that means effectively that you've like being like and displeasurable to your enemies. There's one in the eye for the haters, those who don't like you. You see, you sort them out because the fact is they want you not to be happy. And here you are, happy, like not particularly annoyed because your very goal is achieved. They want you not to have a roof over your head, but instead you are here with a roof over your head. You see, your test is to maintain that successfully until sanctuary. So maintain the roof over your head successfully, and that's one in the eye for your enemies. And the maintaining of your roof over your head should be filled with energy and happiness and joy, because that's exactly the state that your enemies don't want. You should, by virtue of not having succumbed to what it is your enemies want, to be in a state of happiness. My name is Emmanuel G. Odonko, Emmanuel Baja Odonko, and this vlog is all about defiance now, defying the desire of your enemies to have you become homeless, and subsequently living in that energy of succeeding past your enemies. Thank you for watching my video vlog, and another one fairly soon. But this one is in regard to becoming a